Fred Barnett right here takes a very narrow split close to the Eagle offensive alignment. That allows and creates a big open area down the field for him to work against the safety, Steve Atwater. You see Barnett releases inside, creates some more distance, fakes a little post move, and then just outruns Atwater to the corner.
Denver starting out from its 14. They have been handcuffed to this point. And the snap was fumbled, and then recovered by Victor Jones. Byron Evans also involved.
I've been on the other side of a couple of these speeding frenzies on the part of the Eagle defense. John Elway said yesterday that this is the worst thing that can happen because the Eagle defense feeds on things just like this, and it's like bees on honey. Now, the more honey they get, the more bees start showing up. So right now you got the whole hive loose in the Denver backfield.
I never quite thought of it that way.
Well, neither had I. Elway's.
Looking at a 2nd and 15 from the 9-yard line. Goes out of the shotgun, taking no chances, and it's an end around attempted by Arthur Marshall. And he's run out of bounds. Marshall, a rookie from Georgia, signed as a free agent. Bothered by a torn rib cartilage suffered last week in the game against San Diego. And it sets up a 3rd down and 5, and you can see the difficulties of the Broncos here in the first half.
Well, you have to credit Philadelphia. I mean, Denver is attempting to do what Dan Reeves said they were going to try to do. The short passing game, the quick release. You know, they're not sacking Elway, but they just can't get any first downs or get in the scoring zone.
3rd down, 5. Elway going deep. Intended for Mark Jackson, covered by Otis Smith and Andre Waters. Once again, Mike Horan back to punt. And the Eagles go with 2 deep men, Sikahema and the speedy Jeff Seidner, a 6th-round draft pick out of the University of Hawaii.
Rich Kotite's very high on Jeff Seidner. He said he's a very explosive return guy. And you've got 2 guys back there that can go all the way for a touchdown. And it's a luxury to have 2 good return men. Not many teams have it.
Fair catch called by Sikahema. Some words exchanged. 43-yard punt. Eagles go back to the offense. Welcome back to Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Marv Albert, Bill Parcells. With 3:38 remaining first half, it's been all Eagles. They lead by the score of 17-0. Keith Byers stacked up. Very short pickup for Byers. Dennis Smith, the strong safety, was on hand. Dennis Smith in his 12th year out of the University of Southern Cal. Chatted with Dennis yesterday afternoon. Going into last year, he had said he wasn't sure that he wanted to continue playing, but he had a standout season, made the Pro Bowl for the 5th time. Here he is for a 12th NFL season.
Yeah, but all his friends are gone, Mark. He said he didn't have a roommate. He said he lives alone. It's like all his guys graduated.
2nd down and about 7 at the 41. Cunningham finding the room, goes sideline for Barnett, and a first down. Wyman Henderson on the coverage.
Well, Barnett, was taken a little lower in the draft than a guy with his ability you'd expect. He played at Arkansas State, and while he was there in college, they were running the wishbone, and you never really got a good chance to look at his pass receiving skills in the wishbone attack. It was all play-action passes. So this guy, Buddy Ryan, researched and drafted him, and this guy's a premier guy in the league right now.
Are you giving Buddy credit? Trying to make friends now? Herschel Walker once again refusing to go down. Dennis Smith, the strong safety, making the tackle as we approach the 2-minute warning. Herschel Walker, 12 carries, 40 yards to this point in the first half. 2 minutes to go in the half. We'll be right back.
guards down there in Philadelphia. Mark Bavaro, they had a hard time with him.
Hard-nosed player, Mark Bavaro, able to make the Cleveland Browns, who obviously have had their difficulties. Play action. Cunningham couldn't find anyone, and he's hauled down. Greg Cragen with his second sack of the season, first of the day for the Broncos.
Good choice by Randall, though, not forcing the ball down the field with the lead. You know, they got a chance to put the kill shot on Denver right here if they could drive it in the 2 minutes. What you don't want to do is throw an interception and give Denver a little life going in at halftime.
Denver last year led the AFC in sacks with 52, jumping from the figure from the previous year. Last season, the Broncos went 12-4, finished first in the AFC West, had an outstanding year defensively in the playoffs. Denver beat Houston, then lost to Buffalo in the AFC Championship game. This afternoon, have not been able to get anything going against the Eagles. And you can see another reason for the improvement. Same number of touchdowns when you compare the record of 5-11 in 1990 and the turnaround to 12-4. However, this is where they really were able to demonstrate improvement that helped to turn the season around.
Well, defense is the key to any sport, and you can see it's reflected in that record. Denver, big improvement, 20 touchdown improvement.
It's a 3rd and 14, and Cunningham under pressure, able to complete to Byers, but way short of the first down. Another factor when you take a look at total touchdowns, it depends when you score the touchdown. So that can be misleading, even though they had scored 32 touchdowns in 90 and 91. Some of those touchdowns may have been scored in blowouts in the season where they struggled in 1990. It's really when you score.
Well, same thing with yardage. You know, there's a lot of concession yardage and sometimes concession touchdowns. You trade points and yards for a lot of time, and sometimes when you're way ahead, you can do that, and so statistics are not always the true tale.
Penalty marker down. Fiegels heading off the punt to Arthur Marshall, and they will down it inside the 5. Jeff Fiegels with a strong game in Phoenix last week. Put 2 inside the 20. Jeff able to put one inside the 5 as it was down by Jeff Seidner. And let's check out the penalty. Against Philadelphia. Down to a minute 37 remaining in this first half. Eagles with a 17-0 lead.
The kicking team was offside. Number 85 lined up in the neutral zone. 5 yards. We'll repeat 4th down.
And that was the man who got downfield. He has good speed, but perhaps not that fast. Jeff Seidner, the 5'6" rookie from the University of Hawaii, was called on that penalty.
You're not used to seeing 5'6" guys on the Philadelphia practice field, but yesterday I saw 2 of them, Seidner and McMillan, both guys about 5'6", and after you talk to Reggie White and a few of those, these guys surprise you. You think they're, vendors or some guys.
Wait a moment.
Parking lot or something.
Vendors. Marshall had the ball pop loose. Arthur Marshall took the hit. But it appears the Broncos were able to recover. That was only a 35-yard punt and a 3-yard return, and it will be Denver on the ball at about the 23-yard line.
Well, one mistake by Seidner cost Philadelphia excellent field position. Instead of having Denver backed up on the 5-yard line, the fumble you see recovered by Denver, Denver winds up on the 22-yard line. Now, Philadelphia could have used their timeouts, held them back, forced a punting situation, maybe gotten a field goal out of this.
Victor Jones on the recovery. What about those vendors who were working out with the
I don't think there's anything against vendors. They don't look like football players. They're a little short for football players.
Reggie Rivers. What you're saying is they were short vendors.
Short vendors, yeah.
Mark McMillan goes 5'7", a rookie from Alabama, and the 5'6" Jeff Seidner.